Welcome to the 7th video in our Mindfulness series. In our last video we were talking about the need for a person to become more aware how the mind works and suggested that one should not blindly follow all the demands and desires that arise in the mind. In the last few decades, society has been very strongly promoting this idea that people should not have any restraints and simply follow any desire or idea that comes up in their mind. Why are others so eager to tell us what we should do? Is this for our benefit? Or is someone else benefiting when we cannot control our mind and desires? For many thousands of years, people lived in a very different way, where life for the very large majority was very simple. They did not travel long distance or frequently, nor were they shopping often or using many services. After World War I, corporations in America were considering how they can increase consumption. They developed a manipulative psychological strategy. Mazur of Lehman Brothers stated, "We must shift America from a needs to a desires culture. People must be trained to desire, to want new things even before the old had been entirely consumed. We must shape a new mentality in America. Man's desires must overshadow his needs." This conspiracy, enabled by new sophistication in advertising and supported by the government, was shockingly effective. Within a few short decades, and with the help of credit later on being given to almost all adults, consumerism had taken over America. This new consumerism had completely replaced the old mentality that people would save money before they would buy new things. Now, many people would argue now that having so many choices of products to buy and things to experience is certainly better how life used to be before, isn't it? It certainly is more stimulating. But have people really become happier? For thousands of years, society looked upon the qualities of greed and envy as something very undesirable. But with the rise of advertising in the 20th century, people were increasingly encouraged to want more and more, to become greedy and to desire what other people have. When we look at what tends to happen to most people is that they are never satisfied, even when they get what they desired. Instead, they always want more and more. It is never enough. The advertising industry knew one thing very well, and that is that people felt some inner emptiness, that something was missing in their lives. This is why they always promise to fill this emptiness with their products and services. Some commercials very blatantly make such promises. For example, Coca-Cola stating, "Coke is it." Coke is what? They imply that Coke is what you are looking for. We even feel that it is my desire to buy a new car, when in fact yesterday I did not have this desire. And if I had not seen that TV commercial, then surely this desire would not have arisen in my mind. So it becomes clear that many desires that pop up in my mind are actually not really my desires. Rather, we are being moved around like puppets. We are not very much aware of how much influence others in our daily lives. In the last 60 plus years, billions of people have participated in this new experiment of consumerism. But no one has become happy or peaceful by doing so. The promise of people's inner emptiness being filled with the products they buy and the experiences that they have has not worked. But this experiment of consumerism has worked wonders for the corporations. It has worked so well that the annual revenues of companies such as Apple, Microsoft and Walmart are so huge that their profits dwarf the economy of many countries across the globe. For example, in 2017, Walmart earned more than the whole country of Belgium. In order for this cultural revolution to have taken place, people had to issue little to no restraints and control over their minds and their desires. But rather than me benefiting from this, I'm just being dragged from one store to the next website. Instead of finding real happiness and peace, I just end up with a restless mind and a big credit card bill. In our next video, we will be analyzing the high cost of letting our minds run amok.